Welcome to Seeds of Encouragement, where seeds of hope, confidence, and success are planted so you can grow. I am your host, Nancy Gonzalez. I help women create their own roadmaps to success so they can find their true identity. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Nancy Gonzalez, your host, and today we have a very, very special guest. It's my dear friend, Michelle Kuei. She and I met on Facebook, and I've always been so fascinated by everything that she does. And we have a lot of the same interests. And so I sent her a message, asked her to be on my show, and without hesitation, she said, absolutely. So you're in for a treat today. So let me tell you a little bit about Michelle before she introduces our seed of encouragement for the day. Michelle is a certified confidence and leadership mindset coach who empowers others to upgrade internal narratives and lets go of fear to become their masterpiece in progress. So powerful. She's a motivational speaker and author of a memoir, Perfectly Normal, and an immigrant story of making it in America. Welcome to our show, Michelle. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Nancy, for having me. I'm so excited to reconnect with you. It's been
Thank
so
you. Same here. Same here. I know it took us a while, but we did it. Here we are.
Yep. And you're
Excited.
just rocking it. I can follow you and see you on Facebook, and it's just amazing what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. When you have a passion for what you do, and I know you get it, just seems to come easy. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, Michelle, I know you have a very special seed of encouragement that you want to share with us. So, what is it?
You are a masterpiece.
I love it. So, tell me, what does that mean?
So I think most people, most of us, including myself, I used to think that we just want to be good enough. I am not good enough. So we're always aiming just to be enough. And I truly believe that you can dream bigger. And dreaming big can be very scary. But the
Mhm.
idea is that you are actually more than just enough. You are a masterpiece that you're putting yourself together and you're reaching to that point of becoming a masterpiece.
I
So to
love
forget
that.
about being just being enough. Think of yourself as the masterpiece.
Absolutely. And that kind of goes back to just mindset, having that mindset that you are good enough and that you do deserve whatever it is that you're trying to get, right?
Absolutely. And it's, this is something that I came to my mind the other day. And when we reach for, I know myself, I can speak for myself. Every time I think about, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm just aiming and shooting for that good enough. Like it's like a benchmark, right? Let me just see if I can be enough. And then maybe I'll reach just below the average or below the enough, and I want more. So
Mhm.
the idea of wanting more lives and inside each one of us. So why not aim higher? Put your bar, set your bar higher so that when you shoot, you're actually aiming to be more than just enough. And surprisingly, every time you do that, you know that you're more than enough.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And it's the power of the mindset, it's the power of positive thinking that can get you there. Because one thing that I've learned just through life is if you tell yourself you can't do it, you're not going to do it. Right. But if you tell yourself, I can do this, whatever it is that it may be, whether it's something that's really small or something that's enormous, if you have that mindset, you can get it done.
Mm.
So,
I
do
think
you have any techniques that you want to share of how you can get that done? How, if someone's coming across something that they're just going, Michelle, I don't know how I'm going to do this. What are
most.
some words that you can give them?
So the first step is to becoming aware of how you're believing it right now, right? So are you someone who's have a tendency of setting your bar too low, or are you someone who's always setting your bar too way too high, so you always feel that you're a big failure. You can never reach to where you want to be. So understand which extreme you are at. So that self-awareness is really important because you don't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know.
Right.
And so in order to know exactly where you are, you have to stop and look at all the pattern that you have picked up over time to bring you to where you are now. If something is not working, is it because you're setting the bar too high? Or maybe you're setting your bar too low. So every time you achieve it, you don't even give yourself enough credit for it. So you don't feel like you own it. You don't feel like you deserved it. You don't feel like, this is something that I can actually do and be good at. So you don't recognize your own talent. If you're someone who's setting your bar way too high, then think about bring it down a notch, or maybe break it down into little tiny steps. So each time you accomplish a certain mile marker, and once you achieve that mile marker, you aim higher each time. So it's not a big jump, it's rather a small step to get you to there. So which extreme are you? Are you someone who keeps setting your bar too low, or are you someone who's setting your bar too high? And I can't speak for you. You have to do the work and understanding where you are currently in your situation.
Right. Yeah. And I love that. I love the idea of taking those little steps. I'm one of those people that I want to go from A to Z and forget about everything else in between. But sometimes when you stop and realize, okay, I need to do A and B and to C to go on, and you reach your finally goal. And sometimes I know it's very frustrating, and sometimes it feels like it's taking forever, but you have to think of that prize at the end.
It does take a long time, and it does take work. And I think right now, January, a lot of people are setting up their goals. A lot of people are, having like benchmark
Mhm.
where they want to be in 2021. But then if you're not someone who create these goals and break it down into smaller steps, somewhere in by mid-January or the end of January that you don't achieve it, it's a big discouragement. I don't see any progress. For example, like business, right? So when I first started with business, I was thinking I had this image of, I'm going to be a very successful coach. I'm going to have this number of clients. But in reality, that comes with time, that comes with experience.
Right.
So if I don't have 5 clients by the end of January, that's a big discouragement. And that turned into that internal message about, oh, I'm not good enough, maybe this is not the right career for me, and I don't want to do that anymore. So you just talk yourself out of something that you are passionate about in the first place.
Mhm.
And so the reason why people are finding that they are not achieving things is because they haven't really mastered that skill of creating those tiny baby steps. And I think one of the tip that comes to my mind is, do you have a plan for the 2 weeks goal? Do you have a plan for 1 month? Do you have a plan for 3 months? Where do you want yourself to be, and break it down into a very specific timeline of how you're going to get there? How do you map it out? So all these require a lot of thinking and self-awareness. So yeah, and if you keep talking yourself out of it, then you'll never get there. Come March, you're gonna have the same set of goal. Come June, you're gonna have same set of goal, and you just keep putting things into your bucket list and
Mhm.
moving things to the next item, to the next item. And comes next year, 2022, you're gonna see some of the same bucket list that you have listed this year. It's gonna show up again next year.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing that popped in my mind when you were saying that is, for example, when you had said, you set yourself a goal of to have 5 clients and you don't get it, that's kind of a reminder for yourself to don't give up. That doesn't mean you go in that downward spiral out of control, or it doesn't also mean that you go, you know what, forget it. I can't do it. See, there you go. That's proof that I can't do it. Instead is exactly what you said. And I love that is, okay, well, what can I do to change that? What are the other steps that I can take? That's a
Mhm.
really, really good point. I love that, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome.
Of
Is there
course.
anything else you wanted to share before we jump off? Anything else you want to share with your audience? You can give them your website or any information that you want to give them.
I think the most important thing is to start seeing things as opportunity, because if
Mhm.
you see everything as challenge, then it's just a big discouragement and you don't feel motivated in doing things. But if you start thinking about what can I do to learn from this experience just by doing it, you may not be successful, but hey, what the heck? Put yourself out there and start learning from that experience, and you'll be surprised with how much you get out of it.
Absolutely. And sometimes getting out of your comfort zone is really when you learn the most. And so, like you said, you didn't achieve your goal. Nah, who cares? You just kind of keep moving forward. So, absolutely beautiful. I am so grateful that you came on, especially now when we need it more than ever, to remind people baby steps, baby steps. So, look at everything as an opportunity. I'd love that. I'll have to remember. I'm going to write that one down because I like that. That is excellent.
Yay.
So,
But
thank
I'm
you.
able to having this conversation with you.
Oh, it's been so awesome. I'm so glad we finally got to connect. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. And thank you for watching Seeds of Encouragement. I am your host, Nancy Gonzalez, and you can follow me at nancyencourages.com. And remember, may the words that you choose to use be an encouragement for others. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks, Michelle.